This November, voters in Massachusetts will decide whether to legalize the limited use and growth of certain psychedelic drugs. If approved, Question 4 would allow Massachusetts residents who are 21 and older to use natural psychedelic substances at licensed therapy centers. It would also allow those over 21 to grow and possess these types of psychedelics in their home. They'd have to follow some rules about how big a grow room can be and keep the drugs locked away from underage people. The law would create a 5-member Natural Psychedelic Substances Commission to oversee the new industry. It would be similar to the state's Cannabis Control Commission. If passed, you would not be able to buy psychedelics in a store. And like cannabis, these drugs would remain illegal at the federal level. If the measure passes, Massachusetts would be the 3rd state to legalize psychedelics, following Oregon and Colorado. Proponents of the measure say limited legalization would be another important step in reversing the government's decades-long war on drugs. They also point to studies that show psychedelics' potential as a treatment for people with depression or struggling with addiction. A few Boston area hospitals are currently testing psychedelics as possible treatments for conditions like PTSD and depression. Advocates say all Massachusetts residents deserve access to these potentially revolutionary therapies. Meanwhile, opponents worry about a black market of homegrown drugs that would remain federally illegal. They also raise issues of cost and access. Early evidence from Oregon shows psychedelic treatment can cost people from $800 to $2,500 out of pocket. And some also worry the proposed commission would run into many of the same issues facing the state's cannabis agency, like internal chaos, mismanagement, and regulatory delays. A yes vote would legalize certain psychedelic drugs for personal use and at treatment centers. A no vote would keep the status quo, meaning drugs like psilocybin and DMT would remain illegal in Massachusetts. For 90.9 WBUR, I'm Walter Wuthman.